You watching Lowhand? I am Lowhand. I'm starting to notice a pattern. Let me explain. So these three characters, we have Domino from Marvel, Shriek from Marvel, and we have Death of the Endless from DC. These three characters have always been portrayed as white, literally white. 255 RGB code. Literally white as a cloud, white as snow, right? And in these movie adaptations, or on-screen adaptations, in the case of Death of the Endless, they've been portrayed as brown or black, right? So these three characters that have been portrayed as white in their comic appearance, forever, they've never been black ever in their comic appearance. But then when they get adapted to live action, they're turned black, right? And it's very strange that it happened to these three characters that are all white, literally white, and they're turned specifically black. Very strange. So let's look at Domino first. So we have this character. She is, I guess she's albino, she's albino, or vitiligo, whatever explanation there is. She is white, and she has a black spot over her eye, whatever vitiligo, brand, retcon, whatever. She's white, and she has a black spot on her eye. Right? She's been white in the comics forever. She's never changed races. She's always been either white or at a white skin tone, right? But she's never been black ever. But then when you go to Deadpool 2 in 2018, I think, it turned her black. And instead of giving her a black eye mark, they turned it white for some reason. So in her comic appearance, she has the dot because her name is Domino, and it makes her look like a domino, the writer kind of reason, not the in the universe. It's something. But she has that mark because it looks like a domino, right? But then in the movie appearance, it's white. But she doesn't look like a domino. I don't think I've ever seen a black with white spots domino. I don't think I've ever seen that. So it's not really staying true to the original appearance, but it's very strange that they decided to do that, even though it doesn't even make sense, really. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to make her have a white mark instead of a black mark, which would have still made a little bit of sense. But, you can't really reason with these writers that don't even, they don't make sense, so I can't really make sense out of it, So, yeah. Let's move on to the next character. We have Shriek from Marvel. I think she has, sonic abilities. I think. I'm thinking. Her name's Shriek. I'm pretty sure she has sonic abilities, but I'm not too sure. I haven't really looked into that a whole bunch. But Shriek, in the comics, she has been white, like white as snow, white as clouds, whatever. She's been white. And like Domino, she's had a black mark over her eye. It's very interesting that these two characters have black marks over their eye and they're white. It's very interesting. But whatever. So she was white with a black mark over her eye. But then when you go to Venom 2, from whenever Venom 2 came out, she is black. And they didn't even go through the effort to make her have that black mark over her eye. They didn't even try to replicate it. It's just a scar. So they're not even trying to make it accurate at this point. It's just just make her have a scar. That's good enough. Which is no. And unlike the Domino from Deadpool 2, the mark's actually black. So I don't know. I mean, it doesn't even have the same pattern as her eye mark. I don't even understand why they chose to make it a scar instead of a black mark. I don't know. And once again, she is now black, instead of being how she is in the comics, white. For whatever reason, I don't know. And finally, we have Death of the Endless from Sandman, DC, whatever. And so in the comics, she is white. She has a little bit of that goth style, from the 80s and stuff. She has that kind of going on a little bit. She also has like a little like a symbol on one of her eyes. I'm pretty sure that's been like, I don't think that's been in all of her appearances, but just some. But it is there some of the times. And once you go to her appearance in the Sandman Netflix show, which I might make a video on that, that's actually like fucking dog shit. But when you go to her appearance in this Headman show, she is brown with curly hair instead of her white with straight hair. So once again, you're seeing that this white character, like literally white, you're changing her to black. Why? I don't know. And the actor doesn't even look like her. I don't even know why they chose this actor to play Death of the Endless. She doesn't look like her. Right? She has curly hair instead of the straight hair, which I don't really know how they would, whatever. But she, like it, they didn't even go to the effort to make her look like Death of the Endless. She doesn't have the eye mark that she has some of the times, and like her, oh, bro, this is actually retarded. Like the whole Sandman show is just like a whole piece of shit, like a whole pile of garbage. But I'll talk about that probably like some other time. But yeah, so we have these 3 examples of 3 white characters getting turned into black characters in their live action appearances. There might be something like connecting them, like the reason why they changed them black. It might be like the same for all these adaptations. But I guess whatever, no? But it's very interesting that these 3 white characters, like 3 of these literally white characters, have all been turned to black, right? So there might be something like conspiratorial going on, I don't know. But yeah, I just thought this was interesting. I was reading the Clone Saga Spider-Man comic, and I saw Shriek, and she was white. And I remember the Venom movie. She was like, wasn't she like brown? Like, and then it just started, it like kind of like made me think about all the other white characters that have been turned to brown. There also might be more examples of this, but I'm not too sure. These are just like 3 that I came up with in my head. But yeah, I just really found this interesting. That, you know, these directors and like casters, they just ignore like this character's appearance, and they're like, oh, let's make her black because like whatever, you know. They didn't even go through the effort of making the actors look like the original characters, right? Let's go back to Domino for a minute. I know I'm like kind of going on for a little bit, but going back to Domino, her costume doesn't even look like a Domino costume we've ever seen before. Like, it's just like, why are your shoulders exposed? Like, this has never been like a suit in the comics, from my understanding. So these like casters and directors, they just don't even go through the effort to make the characters actually look like their original versions. So it's just like, it doesn't even make sense to me, right? You're adapting this character, just make it look like how they look in the comics, right? Because like, if you don't, you're just creating a character that just has the name of this other character, and maybe, you know, they might have like a comic reference in their suit, but other than that, this character is not the original character. Domino from the Deadpool movie is not the Domino from the comics. Shriek from Marvel Comics is not Shriek from Venom 3, right? It's just crazy. These directors, they don't even go through the effort to make the characters look like how they look in the comics. They're just the character in name and maybe like comic, like suit, but other than that, just a whole different character. So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm going on for a little bit too long. I don't want to fucking kill myself while editing. So yeah, that's about it. You've been watching Low Hand. I've been Low Hand, and time will see us realign.